Hi friends, so welcome to part-time microscopy. What I'm doing today is I just had a sample of water which I had been keeping for a few days, and today I noticed there were some cells, some protozoans growing in that, and with many nuclei. I presume they must be Entamoeba histolytica, but since I'm not very sure, I'm just posting them online and maybe somebody could confirm it. If not now, then later on in comment section. So I'll just bring that in focus. Yes. So now we'll just zoom into that part where I found those protozoans with multiple nuclei, and that's the reason why I presume them to be Entamoeba. Give me a second when I adjust this. Once we are done, we shall be ready for streaming. It's a little tricky getting the alignment done. Alright, so here it is. There we are. You see that cell in the off-centered, slightly off-centered? I'll just bring it in focus. I'm not very sure. I'll first bring it in focus so that we can get a good look of it, and then fine-tune the magnification. Here it is. I'm not very sure whether it is Entamoeba, but the cell organelles, they seem to move. Just keep your concentration for a while. See the cell organelles, they are moving. So it's not very sharply focused, but it's pretty apparent. There are 4 prominent structures which are making some sort of movement around, and come what may, these 4 they remain, which makes me think that they are not vacuoles. You see, and they have a darker consistency compared to the other organelles. If I do some tricks with the condenser, maybe we can find something better. Okay, this looks a little more promising. See, it's slightly showing some sort of movements. Now, whether it is by its own self and some sort of pseudopodial developments also apparently, I'm not very sure, I might be biased. But then there are some sort of movements, self-induced, not as a result of the nearby water flow or other ciliates movement, though that could accentuate it. So when I was observing this, what struck me was that these organelles, they were moving about and they were not still. So it was not an egg or a spore. It was something, an individual animal. Now there is a vacuole getting formed. That is for surety. Although there are a lot of rotifers also in this particular slide, and believe me, this sample is from a beaker wherein I keep the droppers and pipettes and slides after I've used them, and it's cleaned out every day or so. It's been 2 days that I haven't given it a treatment, and at the bottom of it, when I just observed, there was some sort of whitish, small fragmented, flaky stuff, membranous. So I just took a small bit of it and put it on the slide, and I was not very surprised because I was expecting something. Um, there were obviously rotifers, which was a surprise because in just a day, when I have not cleaned it, it was last I had replenished it yesterday morning, and today evening, that is in about 24 to 30 hours, some development, some growth. It's a little quick. Now, to me, there is a kind of a pseudopodia getting developed on the to my right side as I look into the slide. But is that a no? Not exactly. No, it's not. So, okay. Now, if anybody could confirm if it's an Entamoeba histolytica, I shall be grateful. Meanwhile, before I move over to some other section of the slide, just keep an eye on the movement of these cell organelles. They definitely move. Slowly but surely. And that movement is internal. It's all by itself. It's not from outside. All right. So now I shall move over to some. Now you see, it's a little blurred out picture, but the benefit of this blurred picture is we get to see four prominent rounded structures of almost same size, and in addition we have some smaller structures, three prominent ones. So what I presume is there are four nuclei and maybe some other two organelles. And as far as I remember my literature, Entamoeba histolytica had four nuclei. So it could be that, but I'm not very sure. So I'm seeking out help from YouTube community. So come forward, people. Let me know if it is Entamoeba histolytica. We move over to some other section of the slide, and I'll show you some rotifers. First, I'll move to a lower magnification. Excuse me for changing the lens. All right, now we try to find some rotifer. Oh, a lot of algae. Still need to zoom out. Zoom out a bit more. And see if we can find something promising so that we can focus on it. There are some rotifers. Now, one unique thing which I have noticed is that since they have not been in a very food-rich environment, most of them are kind of ill-feeded, ill-fed. All right. When I took up that sample from this water, I was hopeful of finding some amoeba, but they have failed me. This sample fails me. So I think that'll be all. There's not anything more interesting other than these few rotifers, and then this membrane is of some, with the kind of structure that it is presenting, it could be of some insect. Could it be? Or some larvae? Alright, let's look at some corona. I've adjusted the condenser so as to bring out some more stark contrast. Now I shall search for a rotifer who is relatively isolated, and alright, this one seems to be fitting our demand. No, he also is moving. There was one, but he was very swift. No, so they don't seem to be of much use for us. Objective is to watch the corona of a rotifer in action. It's a little taxing and tiring. These could be eggs. Now we zoom in. This is 10x eyepiece and objective both. Please, why don't you just show me your corona? Though it's a very deadly thing these days to talk about COVID and corona. But then, alright, people, that was all. Please let me know if those things that I shared with you, were they Entamoeba histolytica or something else. Thank you so very much for joining me. Have a good day.